Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate, enslave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule cause you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, cause I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast, and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts, and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring, and George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil. Chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
What's good, my people? You're watching the MC Too Tall Show with your hardcore, fierce, and sexy host that is never gross, MC Too Tall. Now we're going to talk about Judge Sookisookinannan, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Sookisookinannan, whatever its name is. She's a judge that recently struck down a proposal to use a database to pick out who the non-citizens are to prohibit them from voter rolls. Non-citizens should not be allowed to vote. Now, supposedly it's already like that, but they want to push the SAVE Act to reassure us of that. I think it is a necessary rule, because some states are allowing illegal aliens, illegal trespassers to vote. And that shouldn't be the case, because civilians in America are called citizens for a reason. Did you know a proper name for civilians in most other countries is not citizen? Unless you have an active voice in government, you are not a citizen of that country. You could be a subject of that country's government, and yes, you could be a civilian, but you're not a citizen without a voice in government. And our right to vote and our actual vote is our voice in government. Citizen is a government title. It is a title for a position in government. That dates all the way back to the democracy of Athens, ancient Athens. People who are active parts of government. Rome had senators and citizens, and these were positions of government, meaning the regular civilians were not citizens. They had a government title of citizen, because the regular civilians didn't have the right to vote. Here in the States, ever since we drew up the Constitution, we have the right to vote for who governs us. And with that voice, with that power, comes the title of citizen. So by nature, automatically, we're civilians, but very few countries grant to their civilians the title of citizen, which is why it's important. Only those who are born or naturalized in the United States have the power to vote. But certain blue states want to take that distinction away. And when that happens, when they blatantly break the law and unlawfully open the floodgates and let people trespass and then give them the power to vote, who do you think they're going to vote for? The people that enable them to do this. And they're going to be pressured into voting for the people that allowed for this as for lack of a better term, a quid quo pro, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. A trade-off. When you receive a benefit from a benefactor, that benefactor then has the right to dictate the manner in which you use that benefit. You've heard me say this quote before. It's a quote from the late, great William Cooper. And so this Judge Sparkle Sookisookinannan, or whatever its name is, put a stop to that, to the effort to distinguish citizens, giving the citizens the power to vote, which it should be rightfully to citizens, and allowing for some non-citizens in some blue states to vote in local elections, which I think is atrocious and disgusting for that. If you're not a citizen, where do your interests lie? Where you're from or where you're at? As the great philosopher Rakim once said, it ain't where you're from, it's where you're at. And you have to embrace where you are at and make the conscious legal effort to become a citizen before you vote. That's how I believe it should be. And that's how most normal Americans believe it should be. This is a right by granted to us or acknowledged to us in the Constitution. And if you're not a citizen, if you're here illegally, you are not a citizen. You don't have that title of citizen, which means you don't have the power to vote that comes with that title, which is the most important component of being a citizen, because you have a say in governmental issues. Illegal aliens should not have a say in governmental issues, and that say would include the power of the vote. And they've done this with the power to vote. Other judges have done this with the Second Amendment. Some illegal alien had a firearm and they were arrested for having a firearm, and some judge threw it out of court, claiming it was impeding on their Second Amendment rights. What Second Amendment rights? You're not a citizen. You don't have those Second Amendment rights. Which is another important component to having a voice in government in some cases. Follow what I'm saying there. So now there is an effort, or at least a call by President Trump and by some conservative lawmakers to impeach this Judge Sparkle Sookisookinannan. And I'm all for that. Get her out of here. She herself is foreign born. She's not an illegal alien, but she's foreign born. And as a person who is foreign born but a legal citizen, you should be looking to protect your fellow naturalized citizens. By not nullifying all that hard work they went through to become naturalized citizens. Because now the naturalized citizen is going to look at what's going on here, scratch their heads and say, you mean I went through all that, and all that to earn this, and now it's just being handed to people? You see why a lot of naturalized citizens are pissed off at these trespasses, even if these trespasses come from the same countries they came from. Because they see no excuse to just waltz in and have everything just handed to them, since they didn't experience that. They experienced the hard work it takes to earn being a citizen. And there should be reward for effort, and not just handouts for non-effort. And that segues into DEI and why that's such a travesty. And affirmative action. I mean, yeah, in the beginning, there may have been cases where affirmative action was necessary, but not now. It's not needed now. I mean, I have my theories of what ethnicity has the odds stacked against them now, but I'm not going to say it here on YouTube. You probably know who I mean. But I also urge you to listen to my hip-hop music, because I'm a hip-hop kind of guy. I'm also the founding father figure of industrial rap. When you experience my music, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you heard of other artists like Death Grips, KMFDM, Meat Beat Manifesto, you'll have a rough idea of what I'm talking about. And on to the I say, respect God, watch out for the Illuminati. Like, follow, share, comment, subscribe, and don't be gross. Stay strong, keep kicking that slang. It's your boy in the building. Hip-hop legend, recording engineer, underground rock and roll hero, MC2.